Hey there, guys. Welcome to Confessions of the Idiots. Everybody wants to confess, but not everyone wants to hear them. Today, I'm joined by the great Lehmo. The great Lehmo. You guys know Lehmo. You guys love Lehmo. He is one of the funniest guests on this podcast, and I just love him to bits. I absolutely do. You guys know that. That's not a lie. That's not a lie. You guys know that I love Lehmo, and I'm super excited to have him on the podcast this week in the isolation tapes. Thank you to the people that are letting me know about the documentary Lady O'Loughlin that was on SBS Viceland on Monday night, and all the wonderful people writing to me telling me how much they liked it. Thank you for that. I'm very happy that people liked it. I'm very excited about that. I did say in the last podcast that went out on Sunday with the great Dave Lawson, performer Scott Brennan and Ryan Shelton, that there would be an episode with Andrew Hansen this week. I do apologize for that. I said it was going to happen, and then I celebrated on Monday night when the documentary finally went to air. 4 years of doing that documentary. I was a little bit hungover and I did cancel the podcast, but I've had a little bit of rest. I'm back, baby, and I will be having the great Andrew Hansen on next week sometime. I goddamn promise you that, guys. I'm not going to let you down twice. You guys don't deserve that. Today's episode with Lehmo is bloody funny. You guys are going to bloody love it. And also, I'm going to look up right now because I always forget the numbers of Lehmo's social media accounts. Let me have a look right now. We've got Lehmo on Instagram. Lehmo on Instagram is Lehmo15. Lehmo15. Follow him on Instagram, Lehmo15. And on Twitter, he's Lehmo23. Lehmo23, follow him on Twitter, Lehmo15 on Instagram. I've never asked him why those numbers, but maybe that would be a great segment on the next podcast. Maybe not one with him, though. Maybe I'll ask a random guest why Lehmo has those numbers. Maybe I will. Who the hell knows? I also realized a weird feature while I was recording this, that I get iMessages on my computer now. I didn't know that was a thing. So if you hear those at all, I do apologize for that. I do ask Lehmo if you can hear them. That's just something. Left it in. Little bit of, it's all killer, no filler. That's what I'm saying. All killer, no filler. Yeah. Thank you to the great Patreon people, the great Patreon supporters that continue to support this podcast. If you are in a position to do that, you can do that. You can support me in that way. If you can, it is patreon.com/confessions of the idiots. And I do have some brand new Patreon people, and I am going to read out the names right now, guys. We've got Pip Lee, Heath Sampson, and Ben Turkey. Ben Turkey? Yeah. I don't know if I've read, did I read this one? Maria Koroktik. Maria Koroktik, please do come at me because that is obviously not how you say that name. Maria Koroktik. I'll do it one more time. I'll get it clean that time. Maria Koroktik. Koroktik. All right. I gave it a few options, a few options for you. Maria, thank you for giving to the Patreon page, and I will give you permission to at me. You can come right at me and you can tell me how I got that wrong, how much I got that wrong. So, guys, if you can give to the Patreon page, thank you. I'll try and put as much extra content as I can up. But if you are not in a position to do that, you can, of course, leave a 5-star review on whatever app you're on or share this with someone. That always does help. I'm really touched by all the great messages about the documentary. I really do appreciate that. I am taking a little bit of time off from working on another project. So, yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a break, but I'll bring out this podcast as much as I can. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at Mr. Sammy P, and Instagram, Confessions of the Idiots. There is also a video of this podcast in the show notes today. So if you want to watch this video, I highly recommend doing that. I know that most people listen to this as a podcast, but if you want to, it is a video as well. I'm excited that this podcast is out there. I'm bloody excited about that. Lehmo is incredible. I find him so funny. And also, if you guys want to check out Lehmo, check him out in Utopia. I love the show Utopia with the great Dave Lawson as well. Kitty Flanagan, Rob Sitch, Dilruk J, singer, Celia Paquala. The list goes on. It's an incredible cast, guys, and I highly recommend watching that show. Guys, look, I think that's everything. I'm not sure, not 100%, but I know that I'll see you guys on Sunday anyway with a new episode. But in the meantime, as always, I apologize about the sound because it's recorded over Zoom, but this is this week's episode of the Isolation Tapes with the great Lehmo. Hey there, guys. Welcome to Confessions of the Idiots. Everybody wants to confess, but not everyone wants to hear them. Today, I'm joined on the Isolation Tapes by one of my favorite guests of all time. It is the great, the legend that is Lehmo. Welcome.
Hello, Sam. That is very kind of you for reading out my introduction exactly as I wrote it. Thank you.
You sent it 3 weeks ago. There's been a few edits, a bit of red pen through that, but I think it worked out really well.
No, you delivered it convincingly.
How are you doing in isolation at the moment, Lehmo? How's everything going?
This may not be a popular thing to say, but I'm loving it.
You're loving it? It's working out pretty well.
Isolation just takes the pressure off.
It really does. From being productive? What in particular do you love about it? Yeah.
Well, there's no pressure to do anything. And what occurred to me just a couple of days ago is, and I'm sure many other people like this as well, Instagram gives me crazy FOMO.
Right.
Like I'm always looking at Instagram going, how did that person get that gig? Or that gig looks fun. Why aren't I on the bill? That holiday.
How'd you get that beach? Yeah.
How'd you get that beach? Where did you get those things? How did you get that? And now there's none of that now.
No.
None of it.
You're not like, how'd they get that living room?
Yeah. Now, well, some people are doing really cool stuff at home that annoys me that I didn't think of it.
But you're not.
But
you're cool with it.
I'm not really. But anyway, I'm not getting jealous as much as I do in normal life.
So it's really working out for you so far.
My own insecurities aren't coming home to roost quite like they do.
Well, have you ever had this much time off ever? Lehmo, have you had this much time off from doing stand-up and from being out there all the time? Like, is this the first time you've actually been at home this much?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Are you learning new things about yourself in these times? Are you learning what you love and how you actually find time to take time for yourself?
One of the things I've learned is that, because my son is 3, you just met him a moment
Just met him,
ago. He was dressed as Batman, but that was my son. It wasn't actually Batman.
It was very hard. I didn't understand.
Yeah.
You had to explain it to me.
He's 3.5, and I've come to realise that a 47-year age gap means that we don't have much in common. The small talk in the morning lasts for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, right.
And then we just battle through the rest of the day.
Not a lot of water cooler talk?
No. What do you think of the finale of Ozarks? Huh? What are you talking about?
He's like, I'm going to dress up as Batman today. Like, cool, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Did you feel morally compromised watching Tiger King? Yeah? What are you on about, Dad?
Well, I've got 2 great online confessions today for you, Lehmo, that I've found. And the first one comes from Falcon. And Lehmo, I'm reading these to people at the moment so they can feel a bit better about their own lives in isolation. Right, because these 2 people are particularly fucked people. I believe that's what they say. So the first confession comes from someone by the name of Falcon.
Okay. As in Falcon, as in the bird or the car? As in that's the...
Yeah, either one. Whatever one you want. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
So Falcon, whatever takes your fancy.
Yeah.
Falcon writes, you probably know where this is going.
I've got no idea, Falcon. I have not a single clue where this is going.
He's really assumed a lot out of you and I, Lehmo, that we could really guess where this was going from 0 clues.
Okay. Can I have a guess?
Go for it.
And let's see.
Yeah.
Falcon, I'm going to say Falcon sleeps with his best mate's partner and reveals it to his best mate at a work Christmas party. There we go.
That would be a much better confession than this one, Lehmo. But he does do some weird stuff in there, and there is a bit of sleeping around. So you are on the right track.
Okay.
There. So it says you probably know where this one is going. How great is that as well? Even Hercule Poirot could not work out where this one was going from that clue. So it says you probably know where this one is going. I'm a sad unit.
A what?
I'm a sad unit.
Yeah, right.
A real sad unit. I could have guessed that one, Lehmo, I reckon.
Yeah.
From someone by the name of Falcon.
Falcon. There are a lot of signs.
Falco.
You're a sad unit. And I bet, Falcon is a self-appointed nickname too.
Oh, yeah. Falco, for short.
Yeah.
He even gives himself a nickname of the nickname.
Yeah.
Falco. You know Falco.
You know, you can picture this guy walks into a pub and goes, "The Falcon."
And he's always swooping in.
Yeah.
He goes, always swooping in. Do you think that he always talks to himself in third person as well?
Yeah, the Falcon's here.
Falcon's here to stay.
The Falcon would love a drink.
Falcon won't leave. Give Falcon another chance.
Yeah. Oh, don't the ladies love the Falcon?
Fact is, I think we're all sad in some way. That's what he writes. And maybe that's okay. Sadness is, after all, a state of mind. Do you agree with that, Lehmo?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sure. Whatever, Falco. You're already worn down by Falco. I imagine if you were in a pub with Falco, that would be exactly how you spoke to him. Yeah, sure, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say, Falco.
You're a sad unit, Falco.
Yeah.
But I don't really enjoy being me a lot of the time. No. Nothing against me, he writes. But I can be a bit of a loser. We already knew that.
Yeah.
You're on board with this, aren't you, Lehmo, straight away?
I'm totally on board with this. It sounds to me like he's, for a guy who seems like he's a bit of a knob, all of a sudden in that moment there seems quite insightful. Yeah,
like he knows he's a loser. He's not going to change it. Why would you make changes?
Well, yeah.
Live in that cesspit of sadness.
He's at least self-aware.
He's self-aware enough to know he's a fucking loser and no one wants to hang around with him. I'm self-aware enough to know. I go, guys, I'm self-aware. I get it. A bit of a loser sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't at me. Yeah. Just a bit at times. I've never really been popular or a player in the lady department, which I'm fine with, of course. It takes all sorts of people to run the world, and I'm not going to argue with that. Do you understand that, Lehmo? To run a world?
To run the world, yeah. Because I know at World Head Office...
Which you worked for a while. You were doing accounting there.
Yeah, I was there. I did an internship there.
At World HQ.
There were all sorts of people there.
All sorts of people.
And what I learned is that it takes all sorts of people.
Oh, you learned that? Wow. Okay. We all learn things, and we're all sad units sometimes. We learned that so far. Yeah. I have a fantastic job, not loaded, but enough to keep ticking things along. Pay the bills, service the car, buy the tacos.
So is he identifying tacos as a luxury item?
Luxury item.
Is that why he singled out tacos at the end?
We need to make cutbacks. Luxury items as in tacos. Vis-a-vis tacos.
Tacos. Oh, someone's got more than one taco. Oh, Falcon's doing all right.
Imagine that, leaving work. What are you doing tonight, Falco? Just having some tacos. Ooh, if you don't mind.
Yeah. He doesn't have Taco Tuesday. He has Tacos Tuesday.
Tacos Tuesday. Oh, but I also like how he says service the car. Like he does that a lot.
Yeah, that's every week.
That's every week. He's taking it in for a service every week. The mechanic loves him.
Yeah. He has one shower every 6 months, but he services the car once a week.
But I have a very small group of friends. My real name isn't Falcon. I'm writing that...
No, come on. Damn.
You were so hoping that his name was Falco. Can you hear my iMessages, by the way, come through? Lehmo?
Your iMessages?
Yeah, well, they're coming through on my computer for some reason. I switched them off. As long as you can't hear them, it's all good.
No.
Oh, great. Okay, great. All right. I'm going to continue on what I was talking about. Yeah. My real name isn't Falcon. I'm writing that because it seems discreet. I won't tell you my real name. Not here. Not here, Lehmo. Somewhere else, maybe. If we catch Falco in a bar on Tacos Tuesday, maybe he'll tell us then. But he's not going to tell us his real name now.
Indeed. I mean, of course, he runs the risk. If he did tell us his real name, he runs the risk of us caring as little as everyone else ever has.
So he's not even going to bother.
When he said his real name.
You guys won't care again. You're just sad units. So... I've been doing something for the last few months that might shock you, really. I've been pretending I'm different people at bars. I know. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Oddly,
Yeah, it is.
I'm not shocked in the slightest. In fact, this seems like a perfect follow-on.
It really fits. A guy who services his car once a week, Lehmo, and describes tacos as a luxury item. Probably hasn't got a lot going on.
He's got some issues. He's pretending he's other people. He's identified himself as a loser on more than one occasion so far.
I go to a bar almost in verbal disguise. So he explains, Lehmo, a beautiful description of what a verbal disguise is. A verbal disguise, of course, means that I'm not literally disguised, but disguise who I am entirely with my voice. Do you understand that, Lehmo?
Well,
it's hard to wrap your head around, isn't it?
It is hard to wrap your head around. Does he mean by his voice he's just saying a different name and making up different facts about himself, or is he putting on an accent?
Well, he says he only really describes different things about himself, makes up professions and that sort of stuff. It'd be amazing if he had a crack at an accent.
Oh, I could see Falcon just bunging on some sort of bad...
Yeah, what sort of accent do you think he'd go for? What would be the go-to?
I'd go for a bad Chinese accent.
Yeah, Chinese. Yeah. He's Caucasian, but he's gone full Asian.
Yeah, totally. Or, or Jamaican. Maybe.
Oh, great. Yeah. So it says...
Hey, hello, man. I'm the Falcon.
or a bit of South African is just like, Shem, man, Shem. That's all he knows what to say. I get to chat to all different kinds of ladies, and we chat long into the night. Me pretending to be an export star, a professor, or even a lonely oil rig worker.
Oh, man.
Pretty good options.
I'm sure he could nail the lonely bit.
He's got that down pat.
They just have to research oil rig worker.
Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah.
What does an oil rig worker do? I do my research before I go and play the role for the entire night. So he's clever. He's Googling how to speak Jamaican fluent in one night. 15-minute Jamaican. I've even had some one-night stands with several ladies.
Oh.
So I'm surprised by that too. Sometimes I'll even hire a hotel for the night in case I need to pretend to be an out-of-towner. Of course. So, they're also called visitors. Or tourists. An out-of-towner. Yeah.
So he's pretending in order to meet people.
Yeah.
And, get to know some lovely young ladies.
Ladies, yes.
He has to pretend he's a completely different person.
He does. He has to completely pretend he's someone else. Going, Shem, man, Shem. And then talking about oil rigs for ages.
I say diplomatic immunity over and over again.
Yeah. It's annoying though when you have booked a hotel and nobody comes back. It is annoying, isn't it? You go to all the effort, Lehmo, booking a hotel.
You're really putting some pressure on yourself. Booking the hotel. Can't you wait until you've been talking to someone for an hour, then ring?
Yeah, ring the hotel.
Book?
Yeah, it's probably not booked out. I imagine the places he's staying, Lehmo, it's like a backpackers.
No, he'd be staying in... Yeah. Look, do we know which country this is? Is this America?
We don't know. Yeah, we don't know where Falco's from. If it's America,
he'd be staying in a Motel 6, like some roadside truck stop.
Oh, yeah.
Where, I mean, I've stayed in a Motel 6 in Bakersfield.
Bragging. Always bragging about it, yeah.
And it's not a word of a lie. The door into our hotel room had six locks on it.
Oh, my God. So that really says a lot about the place you're staying in.
Yeah. And I thought to myself, do they know that 6 is the required number of locks? Or are they still on that journey trying to work out how many locks this door needs?
They're doing one up every time?
Yeah. They had 5 on here 2 nights ago and a guy got murdered in the room. So now it's 6.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I reckon in Australia he'd be staying in a Best and Western.
Oh, yeah.
Or a Big 4 service department.
Something like
that.
Big 4 service department. Or a caravan park.
Yeah. Take a girl back to your caravan. It's annoying though.
I've got a Jayco pop-up, baby.
Well, yeah. I'll put the annex out. It'll be a great night. It's annoying though when you book a hotel and nobody comes back. But that's what I'm building up, the mystery of who I am, the enigma, and I kind of like it. It's a little lie that I keep telling myself and strangers that doesn't seem to be harming anyone. But I do worry that maybe through one of these verbal disguises, do you remember what the verbal disguise is, Lehmo?
Oh, this is where through his voice. It's not actually what he's wearing, which would be a physical disguise. It's through his voice. He's being a different person.
You're a smart guy, Lehmo. You get it. You get it, yeah.
It's where you've got the Jamaican oil rig worker or the South African ex-professional sports star.
It's like he's trying to go for a Lemony Snicket writing style, you know, when he's like, a pond, which here, dear reader, blah, 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 blah. But he's really just completely fucked it up, just patronizing us while we're trying to read this story, this beautiful story. That I might meet someone my real worry with the verbal disguises is that I might actually meet someone who I care about and Falcon will fall in love.
Right. Big trap.
Big trap. That's a big trap.
For the Falcon, yeah.
That's a really scary fact that one day might even rear its ugly head. I love being wanted. I love feeling the touch of another. What's hard is feeling that touch be so genuine when your heart is not as genuine. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do understand what he's saying there, but I can't help but think...
Sorry, Lehmo, I really didn't make this podcast. I didn't want to make out by asking you on this podcast if you understand certain things that I'm saying. That is so fucking rude when I think about it. Just me going, do you understand that, Lehmo? Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Do you need me to explain that to you? I get the feeling, though, that this guy, he's told us that he's a loser. He's told us that he's lonely.
Yeah.
I get the feeling... he might be falling in love every time he picks.
Oh, sure. When he takes someone back to the caravan.
Yeah, I think he falls as soon as the Jayco pop top's in action. His heart's melting.
Oh God, of course. That makes so much sense because he seems like the kind of guy that would fall easily in love, Falco.
Yeah,
You can bank on that.
No, the Falcon's susceptible.
So he says, I haven't told any of my friends that once a week I become someone else. I've not told my mother, my father, or my friends. I haven't told my siblings either, but that's because I don't have any.
Well, it makes it easy to not tell them.
But he was stressed about it. I'm sure Falco thought about that for a while.
Yeah. Do you want to go through a list of things you've never done with your siblings? Because you don't have any.
Why don't you hang out with your siblings?
I've never cooked dinner for my siblings. No, I don't have any.
So now I am really starting to worry that I'm going to get caught out in a lie. To be caught out in a lie that might harm more than just me or whoever I'm pretending to be. Should I tell some friends to get it off my chest? Or what happens if I do fall in love as a professor? That's it. I mean, that's a great way.
I say, if you're going to fall in love, just be a professor forever. That's your new life.
Yeah.
Change your name by default. Keep that Jamaican accent or whatever it is that you're using.
You're trying to do.
Yeah, because the professor's clearly a better version of a human being than you are.
Sure. Yeah. That is confirmed.
So go with the professor.
Yeah, great. So you think if he does actually fall in love, that he just needs to go with whatever lie his verbal disguise.
Yes.
If you can understand that, Lehmo, a verbal disguise, if he...
I think I've got it.
It's very tricky.
So it's a coat made out of words. Is that right?
That's it's kind of. But yeah, so you think that he just needs to basically double down and go with that forever?
Yeah, just stick with it because that is more interesting version of him is the version that's managed to, pique someone's interest.
Yeah.
He should just stick with that. I know it's a lie, but I think as George Costanza once said, if you believe it to be true, then is it a lie?
Right. Okay. So just live that life forever because it doesn't sound like he's got like many friends. He hasn't even got siblings. We know that.
Turn the lie into something true. And although this is what happened with, who did Eric Banner play recently in that?
Oh, Dirty John.
Dirty John.
Yes.
Dirty John.
Yeah.
Is this guy Australia's Dirty John?
Falcon.
Is Falcon Australia's
Dirty Falcon?
Your problem is you're never going to introduce this person to any friends
No.
or family.
No. No, you'd be too scared to all the time. If you're not a professor, you're not going to be doing it.
Yeah.
Or a lonely oil rig worker.
That would make sense, though, because you're lonely.
Yeah.
So if they
family would just go, fair enough.
If they fall in love with a lonely oil rig worker, where you got away with that.
You bang on. Fair enough. So you just think double down on the lie, Lehmo, and move on with your life. Try not to ruin anyone else's life.
Yeah. Just move on as that person.
Yeah, forever. And leave us alone, Falco, because we don't care.
Yeah. Or his alternative is to choose his favourite character.
Yeah.
And start being that character and only that character now, but take it on 24/7.
Great. Forever.
Forever. And then you might have a chance to convince some friends that that's who you are.
Right.
Before someone wants to commit to a relationship with you.
It makes perfect sense. If you were to make a film about this, Lehmo, who would you get to play Falco? Who do you see Falco being played by in a film? They're going to be a good actor. They're going to have a lot of accents. That's South African. That's Jamaican. Who would you put in that role?
I would get and I've just had a mental blank on his name. Wayne's World.
Oh, Mike Myers or Dana Carvey?
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need all the accents, all the voices.
And he can pretend to play a turtle, or he can do whatever. If you've seen some of the Master of Disguise, Master of Verbal Disguise, maybe we can call it that.
Or the Master of Verbal Disguise.
And it says under the tagline is, "Do you understand that?" Lehmo, it's aimed at you.
Or Bill Hader for a more recent.
Right. Okay. If we want it to be a bit more clever, like a clever portrayal, we go Bill Hader, subtle comedy. And if we want balls out, just balls to the wall, so many balls, and just crazy fuck shit, we go Dana Carvey.
Yes. Yeah.
When we're pitching it, I'll come in with the crazy fuck shit. You want crazy fuck shit, or you want smart? Because Lehmo and I can do both.
I'll have crazy fuck shit.
You've got Dana Carvey, my friend.
Or if it was in Australia, Dave Lawson.
Oh, great. The actor Dave Lawson. Great. Yeah. Of course. Well, he'd be very good. I've been trying to convince Dave Lawson that we should make a biopic of Daryl Summers' life.
Oh, yeah.
And Dave Lawson would play Daryl Summers, of course. Yes. Who would you want to play in that cast? So I've got
Aussie.
You want to be Aussie? Great. How would you play it? Would you play it pretty dark?
Yeah.
Oh,
Aussie
shit, yeah.
Aussie, whenever Aussie's below the desk,
yeah,
he'd be drinking scotch straight out of the
bottle. Oh, fuck, yeah. A few pills, popping a few pills.
Doing lines in front of the studio audience.
A few no-dos and he's back up.
Yeah.
Snorting no-dos. Yeah,
he's always the last to leave the Saturday night after parties. He's been locked up a handful of times.
Right.
No one knows.
Well, let's move on.
Everyone's bailed him out.
Let's move on to the next confession that comes from Freya. Freya writes, I've done some pretty messed up stuff in my life. My sister was always kind of the good girl, really. And in turn, I became the bad girl. It's a famous story, isn't it? An old tale, Lehmo.
It's a classic good girl, bad girl, favourite daughter.
Of course.
Non-favourite daughter.
They say that... They do say that every story, there's only 7 stories that they all derive from William Shakespeare. So this is a tale we've heard so many times before.
Yeah.
It's probably Taming of the Shrew. We're not sure what it is at the moment, but it's going to get messy. We know that.
I'm going for the Merchant of Venice, but let's find out.
It wasn't hard for me, really. I always had a bit of rebellion in me. I'd hang around a bit with the older boys and used to smoke cigarettes before they were cool.
Oh, Freya.
Yeah, probably in the 40s, 50s. I don't know when exactly.
Cigarettes before they were cool. Yeah. Cigarettes have been cool forever.
Forever. You're very uncool, in fact, if you don't smoke.
Yeah.
Of course, to my parents, I was always a saint. They never knew that I was giving head after class some nights.
What?
They wouldn't know about that. Why would they know? They wouldn't have to know about that.
Well,
they don't need to know.
You doing it in the lounge room of your parents' house? I mean, why would she expect her?
Why would you? Yeah, fill them in every night. Yeah. That actually is a good scene for Ozzy. Gets caught by his parents at a young age.
Oh yes.
Maybe that's why he's so dark and twisted.
Giving or receiving.
maybe we don't actually find out. Maybe we don't see it.
Oh, yes.
And you never know, but he keeps having flashbacks throughout the... You think it's going to be about Daryl, but it becomes about one of his most famous puppets.
It's the unraveling of Ozzy Ostrich.
All above board, of course, but still, a daughter like me would be ostracized. There we go. Ostracized.
Yeah.
If they...
It's the real theme developing here.
Maybe ostracized could be the Ozzy Ostrich story. That would be pretty cool. Great name for it.
Yes. Okay, forget the Daryl Summers biopic. Let's do the Ozzy Ostrich biopic called Ostracized.
A daughter like me would be ostracized if they knew what I was really like. My sister, let's just call her Hannah, would have done the same. She was too prissy. Oh, wouldn't have done the same, she means. Anyway, she wasn't too prissy. She was too prissy, too delicate to bunker down and get fucked up like me all the time. But that's exactly it. Once you push yourself a little and get a thrill out of it, it's very hard to turn back. Isn't that right, Lehmo?
Yeah, 100%.
Look what happened to Ozzy Ostrich.
Oh, Ozzy just got a taste of the good life and whoa.
That's showbiz for you. Good.
That's showbiz. Now he's in rehab again.
So things got pretty normal after college. And I, of course, went on to get a normal and steady job. Of course, Lehmo. Of course you did.
Freya.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised by that. I totally expected that to happen.
She was a lonely oil rig worker. in my
From South Africa.
Yeah. In my downtime, of course, I loved a bit of rough sex and anal play. But there wasn't anything super strange about my adult life.
Okay.
But
just a bit of rough sex and anal play. What does anal play mean?
It's like a playground up there. For some people it is. A slip and slide.
How about some anal play?
How about some? I guess. But I was missing that streak of rebellion. I was missing that adrenaline hit that I'd become used to for so long. So what did I do, you ask?
Yeah, what did you do, Freya?
Thanks for asking, Lehmo. Well, last Thanksgiving, we have a very small gathering. It's my sister and her husband, my parents and me.
Yep.
Everybody was doing other things and too busy for our family tradition. So it's only a small thing, Lehmo, because apparently she thinks it's only her family that has Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. So there's 5 of them.
Yeah.
Is she saying there's more, but they just weren't there?
They weren't there.
Okay.
So they usually have more, but they weren't there.
Yeah.
It's only their family do Thanksgiving, Lehmo.
Yeah.
I can't. Do you understand that?
Yeah. No. So what you're saying is that in America, Thanksgiving just goes family to family.
Correct. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. I was seated next to my Hannah's husband. Oh. And my parents were right across from us. What do you think is going to happen, Lehmo, at this point? Can you guess?
She's going to make a move.
Yeah, she's going to make a move. Of course she is. She's only human. Yeah. Hannah always chose to sit at the head of the table. That's just her.
Head. She said head again.
She said head again. Yeah, it's good stuff. But so, you know, she and the husband are sitting together, Hannah up the top, and the parents across from them. About halfway through, I'm so bored. Hannah tells us she feels a migraine coming on and has to go to bed.
Yeah.
Of course. Hang on.
One down, 2 to go before we get to business.
Well, I will tell you, Lehmo, not 2 to go at all. Let's see what happens next.
Oh, dear.
She exits, and I'm kind of glad she did, to be honest. She can be such a drainer anyway that sometimes it's nicer without her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think Falco feels the same about his siblings.
Yeah. Some real jealousy issues here between Freya and Hannah, the favourite daughter.
But that's when I did it. I just grabbed her husband's knee. I was still chatting to my parents while I did so, but he didn't fight it. And so I unzipped his fly before too long. I had his meaty cock in my hands.
What, while she's sitting across from her parents?
Yep.
What is wrong with you? What, and he's just sitting there as if people don't notice that.
Yeah, exactly. It must be a pretty big table, I'm imagining, Lehmo. You can't see what's going on. Lots of turkey.
They live in a castle.
Yeah.
and the table is 50 meters long, and they're at the other end.
You have to have binoculars to see who you're having dinner with. It's one of those tables, yeah.
Okay.
I was just yanking it, and discreetly as I could, and he was loving it. I just kept yanking and yanking until I felt his cum, and then dropped his dick back gently for him to tuck back into his underwear.
Right.
Just dropped his dick. Yes, success. It was such a thrill, and of course my parents had no idea what I had done.
What do you mean? Of course they had no idea. How could they possibly not know what was going on there? You're jerking.
Yanking.
Yanking. What? 3 feet away? Is she
3 feet? Yeah. It's not far. It's not far.
It's not far. Unless the parents are blind or idiots.
They definitely knew what was going on.
They definitely did.
I told them that I was going for a walk. I was absolutely loving it and feeling more alive than ever. But of course, once the adrenaline wore off, I was just there, knowing that I jerked off my sister's husband at our family dinner table in front of my parents.
Yeah.
We've all been there, Lehmo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that thing, yeah.
That's why I brought you on, because you told me this story the other day.
Yeah.
And I know, yeah, what did you do? And I know I have to say something. 2 days passed and he hadn't said anything to Hannah. That was quite clear. I now don't know if I have to have a private word with him and ask if he's going to fess up, or if I just need to go to Hannah direct. I can't tell my parents. They won't forgive me.
They'll be embarrassed that they didn't notice. While we were sitting there.
While we were having our turkey with cranberry sauce.
We thought you were pumping up a soccer ball.
As the husband just sat there, just being jerked off in front of them.
Yes, yeah. One eye flickering. Is he okay?
What do you think, Lehmo, in this situation? What do you think lovely Freya needs to do?
Lovely Freya needs to stop jerking people off at dinner tables.
Sure, yeah. Because that's hard to do, Lehmo. That's hard to do, isn't it?
Look, if she was able to pull that off without anyone noticing, she's practiced. Trust me.
She's a pro, yeah.
To pull that off without people noticing is hard.
She could play for her country. She would be amazing at that.
If it was an Olympic sport, Freya's our girl. You know what? Why does she have to tell people?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think she feels she has some responsibility to her loving, prissy sister, even though she doesn't really seem to like her a whole lot.
Her responsibility to her sister would have been to not jerk off.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right, Mr. Moral High Ground.
I mean, I hate to get to the party.
Lehmo's getting on his fucking high horse again. So you think
Aussie Ostrich never would have done this?
Ostracized part 2.
I think she needs to just keep it to herself. There's nothing to be gained.
Yeah. Do you think she should maybe tell the parents?
She should definitely tell the parents.
Without a doubt, tell the parents.
Next Thanksgiving.
Oh, great. Leave it for a year. When her family have it again in a few thousand years.
While she's got a turkey leg in her hand.
Funny story, actually. Last time I had this. It is a funny story. Everyone loves a story like that. What a great anecdote.
Come on, guys. Now,
lighten up.
Let's all sit in the same seats. Hannah, you were there. Mum and Dad over there.
Let's recreate the whole thing. So you just think, leave it and let him get away with it. Let the guy get away with it, and she just needs to, because you can't. There's no way that marriage is going to survive. There's no way that that they'll ever talk again.
Her friendship with her sister will be over. Yep. The marriage will be over. Her relationship with the parents will be. It's just nothing to be gained.
Yeah. Who do you think, if we were to cast this one? So you got Falcon story, you got Aussie Ostrich story. Who would you be casting as Freya in this? As Freya, that's a good. Because we don't know how old she is either. Like, I guess we're going to work out how do we cast her, because that's a hard one. I know exactly who I'll cast as Freya. The girl from Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey. No, Helen Mirren as Freya. Wow. Okay. Bit older, but yep. No, the girl from what's that futuristic with the werewolf, and you're either on Team Jacob or Team Twilight. Who's that girl? Kristen Stewart, I think is her name. Yeah. Okay. Great. All right. I just have a list of celebrities up here just in case you bring one of them up.
Yeah,
Dana
right.
Carvey and Kristen Stewart were the two I had there.
So I'd cast her as Freya.
Yep. Okay.
And
Okay.
Hannah would be sort of your more wholesome kind of, like.
Oh, yeah, like a Magda Sabansky type.
No, I was thinking more of your. I'm still in America.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. No, I misspoke. I'm sorry.
Who's the young actress who got an Academy Award recently for? So I can't think of any actor's name.
Yeah, don't worry, I've got a whole list. Well, what was she in?
She was in. What's the? Not Twilight. What was the? Hunger Games.
Hunger Games. Okay. Lawrence. Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, so Jennifer Lawrence is a good one, and then you've got Kristen Stewart as the, as Freya.
Yes.
I think for the parents, would you go Helen Mirren for the mum? That's a good scene when Freya is yanking her brother-in-law's dick off, and you got Helen just making small talk.
Helen and Clint Eastwood as the father.
So it's quite a good cast. It's quite a heavy film. Are you saying it's a comedy, or do you think it's a heavy drama?
I think it has funny moments.
Yeah.
And
it's
Hannah's partner.
Yeah.
To be played by
Jack Black. Are we going comic? What are we going?
I think Jack. Did you say Jack Black?
Jack Black. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack Black. And Jack Black's penis to be played by Ozzy Ostrich.
Amazing. That's good cross promo for us.
Yeah, totally.
Because we'll be making quite a few films, I imagine, in the next little bit. So it's going to work out fine.
Yeah,
if you had to hear from one of these people again, Lehmo, and follow up from them in the coming months, who would you want to make sure is okay? Would it be Falco or would it be Freya?
I'd be checking in with Freya because I think she'd have more interesting stories.
And we didn't take kindly to Falco.
No, Falco he feels like a bit of a knob.
just a little bit of a knob. Maybe it was Flacco. Maybe he's just, the famous Australian comedian Flacco.
Flacco.
It could be. We don't know. It's too hard to tell.
He's got the second personality of Falco.
Falco in a different best and western or caravan traveling across Australia as we speak.
When confessing to things online. Look, if ever I meet Flacco and he has a Jamaican accent, I'll know.
Well, Lehmo, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast, my friend, and I hope that you'll join me sometime soon.
I would love to. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, sir.